My glasses up there in my hat. Thanks, sir. All right. Yeah, ready. We'll see if anybody comes in. Nobody's in yet. But we are going to do Sunday dinner. And we'll wait for people to come in before I really start talking. So, yeah, let's do that mount right there. Yep.
Yeah, okay, guys.
Gotta love it. All right. Melanie, how are you doing? We are, let me turn the camera here so everybody can see me. We are making dinner. And we are just going to be doing kind of a mishmash of stuff. We're not going to have a big to-do. We're just going to kind of fry things up and put them all together in the bowl. So we have a little guest right at the moment.
Hey guys, I hope everybody's okay, and don't forget it. Corbett makes a nice food. I watch his channel. Don't forget it. YouTube and your Facebook as well. Okay, he's a nice guy.
All right, this is Humberto Silva, the Portuguese trucker on YouTube. He does skip shift trucking. Kitchen, yep. So,
Trucking style.
So watch his channel. You'll see him and Christina cooking, and you'll learn something from them, and hopefully from me as well.
Oh yeah, for you too.
Yep.
Sure.
All right, Jeff Wright. No, it is not snowing currently. It's pretty clear. We are down to 6 degrees again here in Fargo, North Dakota. I've got my This Trucker's Life beanie on, so hopefully that comes through on the screen. Mia Navarro, how you doing? Brad Park, Sandy Peterberg, hey. Jeffrey Rosedale, or Rosedahl. Yeah, but all right. So we are, like I said, we're just doing kind of a mishmash of meal tonight for the simple fact that I have stuff in the refrigerator to cook. I have stuff in the pantry to cook. Backwoods PMW, how you doing, sir? I ain't seen you in a while. Welcome back in. So, like I said, we're just doing kind of a mishmash, just a rice bowl with stuff on it. So we got a variety of things we're going to be frying up and setting up to the side. Then we'll build our plate or a nice bowl, as it were. But like I said, this refrigerator here, it ices up very easily. So we are going to be this remainder of this week, we're going to eat down as much of that as possible. Of course, the condiments and basic ingredients like that. But the big ingredients we are going to try to get rid of. So pork belly, vegetables, shrimp, beef, the eggs, vegetables, our dumplings, bacon, things like that. We're going to eat up as much as possible. Defrost this stupid thing. When that's nice and clear, then we will do a shopping trip, and we may do that live as well. Go to a Walmart or an Albertsons or wherever we can get to, do a shopping trip, and I think I'll probably explain how I build my basic ingredients, thinking about what meals I'm going to cook. So things like pork belly. We're going to have things like that, in there. But it's one of the things we want to try to use it as much as possible when I have it, so that it doesn't just sit in there for a long period of time. So here we got a piece of pork belly. This is not the best pork belly out there. OTC, how you doing? Well, thank you very much. I'm great. I'm grateful you turn in and think that that you enjoy it. Now, I don't know if you're enjoying it just watching it or actually listening to me drone on, but we'll do that. So we got a little bit of pork belly here. Now, look, this is not the best pork belly. This is kind of a packaged pork belly, not a one from a real butcher. This does not have as much meat on it. It's mostly just fat, but yeah. So, but we are going to be cubing this up a little bit. We'll be frying some of this. Like I said, we got shrimp, we got ground beef, mixed vegetables. We got a plate here. Let's turn that down a little bit here. We can turn it down so you can see it. So some yellow onion, a couple of eggs we're going to scramble up, some gyoza, garlic, green onion. We're also going to use some Kikkoman soy sauce. Some red pepper flake for a little bit of tiny bit of heat, and black pepper. Like I said, basically almost all the stuff we're just going to fry together, whatnot. Okay, well, OTC, my recommendation, if you had asked me previously, would have been not to do that. But if you're comfortable doing that, just study hard, memorize. That's the number one thing. Memorize everything. Do everything 4,000 times so that you memorize it. Your pre-trip especially. Start at the very front of the truck, looking under it, all the way to the back. Touch everything you talk about. That way it gets in your head a lot better. You'll pass with flying colors. What bibimbap? I'm guessing that's kind of like just a potluck thing. I'm not too sure what that is, Mia. But TNC, like I said before, it's a pretty decent company. I went to Melton for my flatbed training. So, but if it works for you, don't worry so much about the money up front. Your first year, worry only about learning. Don't worry about the money. That's a problem that gets a lot of drivers in trouble. They worry about the money and they're not thinking about learning. If you're not learning, you are never going to succeed in anything. So learn what you're doing, practice every day. If it's hard, it's good. So, like I said, we got our pork belly here. We're just cutting that into little cubes, as it were. So we have 12 of those. We can set that aside. When we fry those up, we're going to fry a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of butter. We're going to be good. Les D, how you doing? Welcome on in. So we got a pot of rice already cooked. There's no sense in looking at rice cooking because big deal. But we are going to take, we're going to take our hot plate here, get this set up. Turn that way a little bit. There we go. So we are about 6 degrees outside. So nice and cold here in Fargo, North Dakota. And we are going to get things started here. Like I said, we already got the rice cooked. We got a few other things we're going to cook. And then, get them set aside. Then we'll plate it all up. So we're going to throw some things. So we got some shrimp and some water falling out. We're going to peel those and fry those. We got, like I said, we just got some mixed vegetables. And we're not going to worry about cooking these. Cook them. Well, all we're going to do is we're going to just take, this is our Instapot. Right? So the Instapot is already cooled down or released all of its pressure. So we can open up that nice and easy. You see the steam coming off. We're just going to take one serving. So this is about 4 ounces of mixed vegetables: corn, peas, carrots, green beans. We are just going to throw that right on top of the rice. Let the heat and humidity and the steam that's in there warm those through. They don't need to be cooked through, but I just want them warmed up. So the vegetables are pretty much taken care of. By the time we are done with everything else, we will have ourselves, a pretty decent meal. Okay. Yeah, so, if you've seen the picture I posted a couple of weeks ago, just rice and, a little bit of egg, a little bit of gyoza, a little bit of pork belly, whatever it was, just throw it all together. You don't need to, it doesn't need to be fancy by any stretch of the imagination. All right, so we got our plate, our pan here, nice and hot. We got a little bit of garlic. So we're just going to crush the garlic, just break it apart like that. We're not trying to, really super fine mince it. We're just going to give it a quick chop. A little bit of roughness. They ain't going to hurt nobody. I like garlic, so a big bite of garlic ain't going to hurt me none. So we're going to take our pork belly. We're just going to throw it in there, kind of separate it a little bit. Oh, that smells good already. Now this is primarily fat, a little bit of meat to it. And I'm not trying to cook this down like people do with bacon, so it's super crispy. I'm just heating it up. A lot of things are going to go really, really fast with this. Oh, I love that smoke. Umberto probably doesn't like it, but I like the smoke. I don't mind it being smoky in the truck. So, oh, yeah, I mean, oh yeah, I mean, so like I said, we are basically just trying to melt the fat a little bit, warm it up. The meat is going to cook through, so we're not too worried about that. We're going to get a little bit of color on it. Yeah, right. Yeah. Some of that fat's going to come out, and we're going to use that for other things as well. Or we'll just, we'll just take it as it is. We're not too worried about being gourmet here. All right. So put our garlic in. There we go. Going to put in a little bit of butter. I'm going to put in a little bit of just one little sprinkle of red pepper flake. Bing, bang, boom. Done, done, done. Some black pepper. And some soy sauce. Once the butter's melted here, we'll put the soy sauce in. And that'll make a nice sauce on the pork belly. Let me need to grab a bowl here. Pardon me. So we're going to put our pork belly in here once that's all cooked up. There we go. Fry in that frying that up. Excuse me. And that sauce will reduce and be a nice little glaze and flavor the entirety of the pork. Oh yeah. That's how we do it. And it's escaping. Damn it. I know where that other one went, but it'll be okay. All right, so gonna throw that in there, scrape the pan real quick. There we go. We got some flavor in the pan. Excuse me. Throw in our ground beef. We're gonna fry that up. There we go. Where's my thing? Here it is. Like I said, not neat, not pretty, but it'll work. And things are just going to be done quick and fast. Everything's going to be on the same plate anyway, so we're not too worried about it. There you go. So that's 73.27 beef right there, 27% fat, so it works. Angie Ready, how you doing? Let's see here. Let me find out. Excuse me. Well, Melton was just a good company. The people that I had talked to on the road before I made that jump, they said, one guy who had worked at both of them said he preferred Melton, and he said it was just a good company, the way he was treated. He said you may not be getting paid more or less at either company, but he said just the overall attitude that he got at Melton was better for him. And my personal experience, it was. I mean, it was a very good company for me. I would have stayed at Melton had they had an oversized vision, done oversized loads on a regular basis. I would have stayed, but they didn't. So I had to make a move. Otherwise, I would have stayed at Melton. Hey, Angie, thank you much. Southwest Arkansas, and you're there in Dallas. Yep. I mean, Melton it's Birmingham, Laredo, El Paso, if I remember right, up in Ohio. So, Melton is pretty good. And, of course, out there in Oklahoma City. Right. But like I said, that's personal opinion. If you feel that it's a good move for you and you get the knowledge you want, do it. Don't take anybody else's quote unquote advice. Do what you feel that you've done the research for and you are going to benefit the most by, and go for it. Don't wait for some other knucklehead whose personal opinion is going to cloud yours. Go with what you want more than anything else, because you're the one who's going to have to pay the CDL training back and learn from the company. But use the company. Don't let them use you. That's the thing. Yeah.
But one thing I suggest to you guys, never take any license on a company.
Yeah.
If you have the money, go to the school.
That's
Because if you do go to the school in some company, let's say Schneider, whatever another company, big companies, you get screwed all the time because first they are going to pay you instead pay like 60 cents like normal people, they are going to pay like 28, 30 cents. And second, it's going to screw you all over. Like they are going to give you the bad loads all the time. I'm not talking from my experience. I'm talking for experience for somebody. I advise them do not do it, and the guy actually did it, and now he's stuck at a company, and he gets paid very shitty money. Plus, I know people works on that company. He makes double of his money, and even people at that same time as him getting almost double too. So do not never take a license on a transport company. And if you quit that company, you're gonna be in courts and you pay more than $10,000 money. So
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah, that's the thing that I always recommend. Pay for it, your license out of pocket. You're happier. You're not beholden to a company. And if you want to leave, you don't have a big debt. My sister went to CR England, and her bill was like 7,500 for her license. I paid out of pocket for mine, and mine was half the price.
Here in Canada, I pay $2,000 for mine because I have experience
Yeah,
already. But even in Europe, I pay 1,500 euros.
yeah. It's always better to do it out of pocket, in my opinion, as well. But if you have to, just be diligent in in your in what you're learning. You really have to control the situation from your end. Don't let them tell you how to do things. Use them. Don't let them use you. Which is, for new people, that is kind of difficult, but it is possible. All right, so we got our hamburger fried up. Now we're going to do some shrimp. So these are deveined raw. So we got to take the shells off. There we go. So we got 6 shrimp. We're going to do this. We're just going to fry it in a little bit of butter. And that's all. We're going to set them off to the side. Get the shell and the legs off of there. Like I said, we're just kind of a mishmash of everything that's in the refrigerator. Get the ice off there too. There we go. Now it can be, when you do it in the truck, it's a little bit harder to do because you don't have the space, you don't have the room, you don't have the countertops that you would in a regular house. So, it always is a little bit tougher to do in the truck, but it is doable. There we go. So, but we're going to make it as good as we can make it. Get that ice out of there. So, a little bit of darkened butter. So that's in there. Good to go. You need a paper towel. Put them in there, or do I take them out? I don't know what to do with my paper towel. No, I got them somewhere. I thought I put them in here. Yeah. Ah, here they are. I knew I had them in here. We're going to throw that paper towel in there, get that water absorbed. So we're just going to flip those around. There we go. So just like that. Get them cooked through. We'll set them off to the side as well. The next thing we're going to do, that's basically all you need to do right there. Just put them off to the side. Get my plate here. So the shrimp is just fried up in a little bit of butter. Give myself a pair of chopsticks here so I can do what I need to do. So we're just going to pop those on a plate. And the butter that's remaining in there, we're just going to throw our gyoza in the pan. What? Yep, Japanese style dumpling. So we're just going to put a little bit of crisp on that. Excuse me. So, simple. We're just frying things up. We're not trying to be super impressive here. All right, let's see here. We got, yeah, Mia, I mean, as long as you, at Melton, the name Melton, MTL, Melton Truck Line, the acronym is must tarp load. You will do a lot of tarping at Melton. So be aware of that. But you will get treated well. You'll get good equipment. Your managers and dispatchers will really do what they can to get you home. I mean, it's a good company. Melton, I always recommend Melton if you want to get flatbed experience. It's just a good company, So, TJ Bull of the Woods, how you doing? Judy May, how you doing, Judy? Glad you could come in. But but it still boils down to it's opinion. And that's 10,000 people will have 10,000 answers. Ways of looking. All right, so we got our dumplings done. All right. So we got our shrimp. We got our dumplings. Those are all done. We're going to take a couple of eggs. So we still have a bit of butter in there. So we're just going to scramble up a couple of eggs. Okay, a little bit of shell got in there. Pull that out. I ain't worried about things sticking because this pan, it's not properly seasoned yet. So we're going to let things kind of burn on there without an issue. So we're just going to continue to stir these. There we go. We're just going to scramble these eggs on up. Just using our chopsticks. All right. And we are almost done preparing everything. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to take our ground beef. We're going to put that back in the pan with a bit of onion. So, going to let this continue like this. Just keep running the chopsticks through. There we go. Go ahead and switch over to the spatula here real quick. Just to turn those over real quick. And our egg is done for the most part. The heat that's in the egg will continue to cook. So we're just going to throw that off to the side. All right. Like I said, we're not too worried about anything sticking in the pan yet because the pan has a long way to go before we're properly seasoned up, and eventually we'll get non-stick. So we're going to throw our chopped yellow onion in there. Gonna let that warm up just a tad. All right. And then once the onion starts to get some of its water out of the onion, then we'll add the ground beef in again. But we're gonna put a little bit of black pepper in here. Set that off to the side there. Grab my spatula. And like I said, all this egg here, that'll peel off the bottom of the pan as we cook. So not worried about it at all. Getting a little bit of heat in the onions. There we go. So the fat that's in the beef, you can see it. It's going to help to fry the onions. We're going to mix all that up in together. There we go. And we're just going to leave that. We're going to start building our plate, building our bowl here. I'm going to find my my spatula for my rice. There we go. Hiding. There. So we're just going to let that cook just like that, and we'll scoop it out when we make our bowl of rice. Yeah, we got some dumplings. Well, they're kind of, I mean, every culture has a pierogi, a dumpling. I mean, Umberto, what's a stuffed dumpling in Portugal? Would you have something like a stuffed dumpling in Portugal?
Yeah, every country, I think.
Yeah, every culture has something like that. So, you know.
So in Japan, what it is exactly?
In Japan, it's called gyoza.
We have like this shrimp that is like they're like almost the same.
Yeah.
But they have like shrimp, some have meat,
Yeah.
some have chicken.
Yeah. So every culture has it.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, whether it's Chinese, Japanese, Greek, Portuguese, and you know, everybody has their own variety. So, you know, use whatever you want. All right. So we got our bowl here. Yeah. Grab some rice. Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, we got a little bit of mixed vegetable in with the rice. So we're just going to throw that down there. So a bowl of rice, nice and hot. We're going to get a little bit of the ground beef here with some onion. Throw a little bit of that on the side. Actually, we got a couple plates here, so Umberto, would you like some? All right. We'll make Umberto a little plate here as well. Let's put that to the side there. All right. Get a little bit of rice. Yep. Yeah, we'll give you a little taste. Won't give you a lot. Give you just a little taste. All right. Yep. So we got a little bit of the pork belly here. We'll throw a couple pieces on there. There we go. Go for a ride here. Hold a second. Got to be able to get my spoon out. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there's never enough room, so things have got to move, and move. All right. So we got a little bit of egg. Throw that on there. Bing, bang, boom. And put one of these, a bit of gyoza, a little bit of shrimp. So 2 shrimp on there. And just a little bit of green onion. Bing, bang, boom. There you go. Little taste test. And if you want some soy sauce right there. Yeah. So we're going to take a couple of those, put those on the plate, get my shrimp in there.
You want the soy sauce?
Yeah, just set it right there if you would. All right. And of course, a little bit of pork belly. The pork belly is going to be a little bit tough, but it's not the best pork belly. It's your regular grocery store pork belly, but it works.
I don't eat pork a lot, but I can.
So your typical Japanese style rice bowl, just a mishmash of stuff. Do it all together. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing complicated. Just fry everything up, throw it in a bowl together, and chow down.
And it's easy to do it.
And it's super easy. Like I said, I'm cleaning out the refrigerator so I can defrost it. A simple bowl of rice with stuff on top of it. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's good.
Simple.
It's healthier, cheaper, and easy.
That's the thing. It's better food, better quality. It costs less. It's healthier. And you get what you want when you want it.
And plus, believe it or not, it's faster too. Because you go to the restaurant, they're going to wait forever.
Yeah. Now, yes, you got to do cleanup. You got to clean up after yourself, but just like in a house. So, get soy sauce here. So, growing up in Japan for 10 years, I'm kind of addicted. We just got to throw all that all over the top. But like I said, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of shrimp, pork, gyoza, dumplings, some mixed vegetables, rice, egg, onion, a few spices. You're good to go.
Actually, the pork is not hard. It's
Hmm?
good. It's not hard. It's good.
No, I mean, it's just a little tiny bit of spice in there with the shrimp, but the main thing is soy sauce is the main flavoring, besides the flavor of the ingredients themselves. A little bit of beef, a little bit of onion, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now, when you can lay it out and you have time to really make it look pretty, yeah, it's better, but a little bit of Japanese dumpling, gyoza.
Let me try that.
Got a little bit cold, but still good. So a bit of the old pork belly that's been fried in butter and soy sauce. Les D, we are in Fargo, North Dakota, exit 62 on I-29 at the Flying J. We are delivering in Galesburg, North Dakota, which is about an hour north. Going to deliver this tractor. Then we're coming back into Minnesota tomorrow, Monday in the midday. We're putting a 12-foot wide trailer on, going out to Washington State. I-94. I-94 is the closest east-west highway, which is less than a mile north of where we're sitting right now. So, simple dinner. Nothing too outlandish that nobody can do.
It's
So,
the same food you make at home. Exactly the same.
yeah, you make it at home. I mean, every tool I have here, you will have in a house. Even if I only had a butane stove, I could do all this.
I want a butane stove, but I can't because by law
Yeah.
in Canada
Yeah, you can't do it in Canada. But other than that, simple meal. All the ingredients you can get anywhere in the world. So just want to say thank you for joining me. This is kind of a short one, quick and fast, nothing too bad. Next week, I will see if I will be doing an audience choice dinner. If I post it up on Facebook on Thursday or Friday, you can make the choice of what dinner I make. We'll see what happens when I defrost the refrigerator, what kind of ingredients I put back on the truck, and then you get to vote on what I make using the ingredients I have. So I'll do it like I normally do, 5 choices, and you select it. The one that has the most votes is the one that wins. That's what we'll do. But other than that, I'll say thank you very much for joining me. A simple bowl of rice and whatever else is in the refrigerator, kind of a potluck kind of thing. I got another full bowl after this one, and we'll have a good warm belly when we go to sleep. Temperature on the dash is still saying, well, it's saying 10 degrees now, but it's going up and down. So, but as long as it stays, below, around 12 degrees and colder, we're good to go. So, once again, thank you all very much for joining me. Judy May Hall, Les D, Brad Parts, Angie Reddy from Chuck and Angie. Go see that. Common Central Elizabeth, how you doing? 1 degree here in well, that's Celsius, so.
No, it's,
That's Fahrenheit? All right, so 1 degree here in the truck is reading warmer probably because of the engine. So 1 degree here in Fargo, North Dakota. TJ Jones, Full of the Woods, Brad Parts, Angie Reddy from Chuck and Angie Show. Go watch them. They do a lot of RVing stuff. St. Petersburg, always fun having you. Melanie Elizabeth, Mia Navarro, OTC. Good luck in your chosen field. Feel free to send me a message on Facebook if you're not already on there. Go to Apologetic Semi Kitchen to reach to me. Just put a message on there. I'll get it and I'll send you a friend request or whatnot, and we'll go from there. If you have any questions about trucking that I can answer, be more than happy to do so. Let's see, Melanie Elizabeth, Mia Navarro, Annette Murchie, all the way from the east side of Canada. Always good to have you. Jerry Rosedale, Jeff Wright, and anybody else who was in and didn't make a comment. Christina, love you too. And hopefully we get all make $1 million this year. Yeah, I know that's far-fetched, but hopefully we'll have a good, successful year despite what may go on with the normal vagaries of life. Not vagrancy, vagaries. Big difference in the words. But thank you all very much. God bless. Have a good night. We will see you on the live stream going down the road. Facebook in the morning, YouTube in the afternoon. And then, of course, if I feel like cooking during the week, it'll pop up without notice. But Saturday and Sunday, of course, we will see you for cooking. God bless. Have a good night. We'll see y'all later.